Hi, I'm Mark. Welcome back to Mark LaFont Fishing. This channel is geared towards fishing. We do tournaments, tips and tricks, gear review, things like that, little challenge videos. So if that's something you like, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the little notification bell so you know when I post more videos. I'd appreciate it. So this is a continuation of a little series called Beginner's Guide that I'm doing to help new anglers cut through some of the confusion when it comes to buying new rods, using new baits, line, reels, stuff like that. And this episode is going to be 4 baits that you should use. 2 for spinning rod and 2 for your casting rod. If you remember, so in the last video I did 2 rods that every beginner could use. It was a spinning rod and a casting rod. The spinning rod was in a medium power and the casting rod was in a medium heavy power. 2 really good rods that can do a lot of applications. And in those rods, it's basically what your budget is. It doesn't have to be an expensive one. It doesn't have to be a super cheap one. Whatever you're willing to spend. I think it's more important that you get the action of those rods so you can cover a wide range of techniques. So with that said, we're going to start out with the baits for the casting rod. All right, so we're going to start out with the 2 baits for the casting rod. And the first one is something that's probably the easiest for a beginner to use. It's the spinnerbait. Tried and true, been around a long time. You cast it out and you reel it in. It's about as simple as that. This bait really shines if you're fishing around wood cover because it'll come through there and it'll bounce off the wood. It doesn't get snagged up a lot and it catches a ton of fish. Really shines in the springtime. And this is probably my favorite color here. It's a white and chartreuse. They got all different kinds of blade combinations. If you want more flash, you go with the willow leaf. You know, that's this one. If you want something with a little thumper, you got a Colorado blade on here. Gives a little more thump underwater. But for a beginner, this is really easy bait to use. That's, like I said, throw it out there, reel it in, and it catches a lot of fish. Second bait is one that's kind of new to the market, and it's a chatterbait. Same thing as the spinnerbait. You throw it out, reel it in. This blade goes like this, and it knocks the head a lot and creates a ton of vibration. You can catch a ton of fish on this. Now this one works a little better through grass. You know, you rip it through the grass, it gets hung up on grass, you rip it out, you get that reaction bite. But this one does not work real good in wood because what happens is this comes, hits wood, and it turns the bait over and hooks it right into the wood. So for a beginner, anytime you're fishing grass, pads, something like that, around like that, or big flats, this is a great bait. And then for a chatterbait, you're going to want to add a trailer. And this one is a shad style trailer. It's just the one that I prefer to use. But you can use paddle tail. You can use all different kinds of trailers out there. So yeah, these are the 2 baits that I would recommend for beginners if you're starting out with the casting rod. They're easy, throw them out there, reel them in. They cover a lot of cover. Wood for this one, grass for this one, and you should catch a ton of fish on them. They're both excellent baits. All right, moving on to the 2 baits for your spinning rod setup on that medium power spinning rod. This is a Yum Dinger. It's just a stick bait. There's a ton of companies that make it. And the easiest way for beginners to catch fish on this bait is to rig it wacky rig style. And with that, you can do it with a weightless, this is a weedless weightless hook. And all you do is you take it here and you hook it almost in the middle. So it's just like this here. Sits on your hook like that, and then it falls, and it does a little shimmy as it falls, kind of. So that's the weightless option right there. I got just weed guards on there. It helps a little bit. And a lot of times I'll also throw it on a weighted, like a little flick shake weight here. But it does the same thing. It just falls a little faster then. And that's all it is. You cast it out there. You let it fall next to cover, grass, clumps, stuff like that. And it just kind of shimmies when it falls. And it drives the fish nuts. It's really simple to use, and it's really easy for a beginner to use. So those are 2 ways you can do it wacky rig style. You can also just take it and rig it Texas rig, weightless Texas rig. You know, you take a 5/0 extra wide gap hook like that, just through the nose like that, bring it out, that, and expose it really. So it sits like that, and you let that, and then it does its shimmy on the way down too. And then you can, if you want a little weight on there, you can put a real light bullet weight on there so it'd fall more like that. But yeah, this rig has caught tons and tons and tons of fish. It's simple to use, and it works. Comes in a ton of different colors. A ton of different bait companies make some sort of stick bait like that. So for your spinning rod combination, that is probably the best starter bait out there, I would say. And then there is the do nothing rig, the Ned rig. So this is literally what it is right here. That, and you rig it with a Ned rig head. You just come down here, measure out where you want your hook to come out. So I want it to come out right about there. Straight down in. And push it up on the hook. Oops. And that's what it is right there. I got it a little crooked, but you want to make sure you get that straight. So that'll sit on the bottom like this, you know, straight up, and you just let it sit there. It is really a do nothing, and you can pop it, you can drag it, and I don't know why it catches fish, but it does. And they call it kind of a do nothing rig, because that's basically what you do. You just throw it out there and let it sit. And a lot of different companies make these now, little craws, all kinds of stuff. This is another good tip for beginners. If you want your money, a lot of bang for your buck, buy the Z-Man Elastec. This stuff lasts forever, and you can catch a lot of fish on it. You can see how it stretches out, and it comes back. It really does catch a lot of fish on it. So if you want a lot of bang for your buck, that's a really good way to go. So yeah, these are 4 baits that I think will help any beginner right out of the box start catching fish. They're easy to use, and they catch a ton of fish. So if you're looking to get into bass fishing and you're confused that, oh my gosh, there's so many baits out there, you know, with those rods that I did in my last video, you can cover a lot of techniques, and you can even, once you start getting into fishing more, you can start covering other stuff. But for beginners, these 4 baits will catch you a lot of fish. So thanks for watching. I hope this video helped. Please give me a like, subscribe, share. If you got any comments, questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.